Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the Midday News. The headlines. Domestic flights resume in the country except in Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal. New set of domicile rules in Jammu and Kashmir to undo the injustice done for 70 years, says Union Minister Jitendra Singh. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter at Khod Hanjipura area of Kulgam district in Jammu and Kashmir. Hockey legend Balbir Singh Sr. passes away in Mohali, Punjab. And Eid-ul-Fitr being celebrated across the country amid lockdown restrictions. Domestic flights in the country have resumed operations today except in Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal. The Delhi-Pune flight was among the first to take off. It departed at 4:45 this morning. However, the first passenger flight to arrive at Delhi airport was from Ahmedabad, landing at 7:45 a.m. Around 80 flights have been cancelled till now at the Delhi airport. All scheduled commercial passenger flights were suspended on March the 25th when the Prime Minister announced a nationwide lockdown to combat the spread of COVID-19. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said the flight operations from Vijayawada and Vizag airports in Andhra Pradesh will begin tomorrow, while those in West Bengal will commence from Thursday on a limited scale. In Chennai, there will be a maximum of 25 arrivals, but there is no limit on the number of departures. Mr. Puri tweeted, for other airports in Tamil Nadu, flights will operate as in other parts of the country. The minister also said there will be limited flight operations from Mumbai. Speaking exclusively to AIR News, Chairman of the Airport Authority of India, Arvind Singh, said the airports in the country are fully prepared for the flight operations. He informed that all arrangements have been made at the airports to ensure contactless boarding to prevent any chances of contagion. Mr. Singh said commercial passenger flights at the Delhi airport will initially operate from Terminal 3. According to standard operating procedure issued by the Airport Authority of India, passengers should reach the airport 2 hours before the scheduled time of departure, and only passengers who have departure in the next 4 hours will be allowed to enter the terminal building. Passengers will have to wear protective gear such as gloves and masks while entering the airport. All passengers except children below 14 years must be registered on the Arogya Setu app, and it will be verified at the entry gate of the terminal building. Passengers shall compulsorily walk through a screening zone for thermal screening before entering the terminal building. Airport operators have been asked to make arrangements for sanitization of a passenger's baggage before entry into the terminal building. Only 1 check-in and 1 hand baggage is allowed, and use of trolley is restricted. The elderly, pregnant ladies and children have been advised to avoid air travel for now. Coinciding with the Holy Ramzan Eid, domestic air services resumed operations from Mumbai International Airport today. After a gap of 2 months, the resumption of service has brought respite to many stranded people from across the country who were desperate to return to their homes after being stuck in the metropolis due to the national lockdown imposed to fight the coronavirus pandemic. The city airport authorities had informed that as many as 50 departures and arrivals are expected on day 1, and all flights will be operational from Terminal 2. The first flight departed out of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport was for Patna at 6:45 hours, and the first arrival flight was from Lucknow, which reached the Mumbai airport at 8:20 hours. Both of these flights were operated by Indigo. More in this report.
Passengers were seen queuing up outside Mumbai International Airport from yesterday night to take morning flights to their homes. The operators have undertaken several precautionary measures, including screening of departing passengers, maintaining 2 meters of social distancing, and wearing of masks and other necessary standard operating procedures for the safety of its passengers. Meanwhile, Maharashtra are celebrating Holy Ramzan Eid, adhering to the social distancing norms. Adhering to the instructions of the community clerics, people are celebrating festival from their homes by offering prayers with their family members and then exchanging greetings with relatives and friends via mobile messages. Nivedita, AIR News, Mumbai.
Along with its peers nationwide, the Chennai airport is also witnessing brisk activity today with the resumption of civilian flights. Today, 19 flights depart from Chennai for various destinations, while 16 others arrive at the airport. Several safety protocols to prevent the spread of the pandemic has been put in place. A report from our correspondent.
The birds that were hibernating for over 2 months have now taken wings. At the Chennai airport, 25 flights are allowed to land every day from today, and there is no cap for takeoff. Sky is the limit for departures. Chennai being the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic in the state, extra caution is being taken in the metropolis as far as arrival is concerned. In other airports in the state, the usual nationwide practice is being followed for both landing and takeoff. The passengers are allowed to travel into the state only if they have got their e-pass issued through the dedicated website tnepass.tnega.org. On arrival, they will be subjected to thermal screening and are mandated to be under self-quarantine for the specified 14-day period. Symptomatic people would be tested with the RT-PCR kits and if found positive, be isolated and given medical treatment depending on the disease severity. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
With domestic civil aviation starting today, the Health Ministry has issued guidelines for domestic travel. Passengers have been advised to download the Arogya Setu app on their mobile devices, and states have been asked to ensure thermal screening at departure points of airports, railway stations and bus terminals. Asymptomatic passengers should be permitted to travel after being asked to self-monitor for 14 days. Do's and don'ts shall be provided along with tickets to travellers by the agencies concerned. A report.
In its guidelines for domestic travel, the Health Ministry said suitable announcement about COVID-19, including precautionary measures to be followed, shall be made at airports, railway stations and bus terminals, as well as in flights, trains and buses. The states and union territories shall ensure that all passengers undergo thermal screening at the point of departure, and only asymptomatic passengers are allowed to board the flight, train or bus. During boarding and travel, all passengers shall use face covers or masks and will also follow hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene and maintain environmental hygiene. At airports, railway stations and bus terminals, required measures to ensure social distancing shall be taken, and these places should be regularly sanitized or disinfected, and the availability of soaps and sanitizers should be ensured. Thermal screening at exit point must be arranged, and asymptomatic passengers will be permitted to go with the advice that they shall self-monitor their health for 14 days. In case they develop any symptoms, they shall inform the district surveillance officer or the state and national call center 1075. With Dipendra, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
People who are symptomatic will be isolated and taken to the nearest health facility and will be assessed for clinical severity. Those having moderate or severe symptoms will be admitted to dedicated COVID health facilities and managed accordingly. The ministry said that states can also develop their own protocol with regard to quarantine and isolation as per their assessment. The next phase of Vande Bharat mission will start from tomorrow until the 8th of June 2020. Maximum number of flights are scheduled from the UAE. A list of 57 flights have been declared as of now from Dubai and another 26 flights from Abu Dhabi. As in the earlier phase, those with compelling reasons will be given priority. From the UAE, approximately 6,000 Indians were repatriated under the Vande Bharat mission during the last more than 2 weeks. The Indian mission in the UAE tweeted that many new destinations have been added in this phase and more destinations are likely to be added in due course in coordination with state governments. Close to 2 lakh Indians in the UAE have registered to go back. More from our Dubai correspondent.
More flights have been added in this phase of the Vande Bharat mission to evacuate more and more stranded and distressed overseas Indian nationals. This phase will commence from tomorrow. From the Gulf countries, at least 140 flights have been scheduled, which is likely to benefit more than 23,000 Indians. Maximum number of flights are scheduled from UAE. 57 flights are there from Dubai, while another 26 from Abu Dhabi. The Indian mission in UAE tweeted that many new destinations have been added in this phase and more destinations are likely to be added in the due course in coordination with the state governments. A majority of these flights are for the state of Kerala from the Gulf countries. Other destinations include Jaipur, Gaya, Chandigarh, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Srinagar, Goa, Chennai, Madurai, Lucknow, Delhi, Amritsar, Hyderabad, Coimbatore and Bengaluru. As in the earlier phase, those with compelling reasons will be given priority in sending back. Kanchan Prasad, AIR News, Dubai.
The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said a total 57,721 people affected with coronavirus have been cured, and the recovery rate in the country has reached 41.57%. During the last 24 hours, 3,280 people have recovered and 6,977 fresh cases of COVID-19 have been reported, taking the total number of cases to 1,38,845. This is the highest spike in fresh cases. The Health Ministry said 154 deaths have been registered in the last 24 hours, taking the nationwide toll to 4,021. The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said a total 90,170 samples were tested for coronavirus in the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of tests has reached 30,33,591 in the country. Meanwhile, ICMR is continuously scaling up its testing facilities by giving approval to government and private laboratories. As of now, total 610 laboratories across India have been given approval to conduct the test for COVID-19, including 428 government laboratories and 182 private laboratory chains.
In Rajasthan, with 72 new cases reported, the number of COVID-19 infected persons has gone up to 7,100 in the state. 3,856 people have been cured so far. Among migrants who returned from other states, 1,701 tested positive for COVID-19. Our correspondent reports that domestic flights have resumed in the state today. In Assam, 35 new positive cases have been reported today in the state. Health Minister Hemant Biswa Sarma in a tweet said that the number of active cases has gone up to 363. The minister, however, clarified that most of the positive cases are imported and not homegrown. Meanwhile, Eid ul-Fitr is being celebrated across the state. However, most of people either offered prayers at homes or in mosques while maintaining social distancing. Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi and Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal extended greetings to the people of the state on this occasion. In Madhya Pradesh, 294 new cases have been reported in the past 24 hours. As a result, the number of people infected with coronavirus has increased to 6,665. The death toll from COVID-19 has also increased to 290 so far. The maximum number of 114 patients have died in Indore. The good news is that 3,408, which is more than half of the patients, have been cured in the state so far.
The highest number of cases, 3,008, have been reported in Indore district in Madhya Pradesh. Besides Indore, Bhopal has 1,241 cases, Ujjain has 553, Burhanpur 271, Khandwa 222 and Jabalpur 209 cases. Additional Chief Secretary and in charge of State Control Room ICP Keshri has informed that travelling by rail and air will be allowed only by e-ticket. This e-pass will be valid from residence to railway station and airport and vice versa. It is noteworthy that the state government has already given relaxation in e-pass facility in the state and now e-pass is mandatory only for residents of Indore, Bhopal and Ujjain. Apart from this, e-pass will continue mandatory for the people coming to Madhya Pradesh from other states. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Nagaland has reported 3 confirmed positive cases of COVID-19 with 2 persons in Dimapur and 1 in Kohima. The cases were detected from among the returnees from Chennai. The test report, which was conducted at the BLS-3 laboratory in Naga Hospital Authority, Kohima, was received this morning. This was informed by Principal Secretary of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Menukol John, during a press briefing held at Kohima today. He said 2 of them are symptomatic and 1 is asymptomatic. He said active contact tracing and surveillance activities are in progress to contain the spread of the virus. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today said the COVID-19 situation is still under control in the national capital, even after lockdown relaxations. He, however, said the COVID-19 cases are increasing slowly in the city and most of the cases have mild symptoms or are asymptomatic. Mr. Kejriwal said there is nothing to worry about unless the mortality rate or the number of serious cases rises rapidly. He added that his government is ready to deal with the situation if there is a spike in cases of the novel coronavirus. He informed that around 3,500 patients of COVID-19 have been reported since the fourth phase of lockdown began. The Chief Minister added that 3,314 patients of COVID-19 are getting treatment at their house and 2,000 are admitted in hospitals. He said as many as 13,418 cases of COVID-19 have been reported so far in the city. Out of these, 6,540 have recovered. Mr. Kejriwal said a show-cause notice has been issued to a private hospital in the city that denied treatment to a patient who tested positive for COVID-19. He added that it is the hospital's duty in such a case to provide an ambulance to the patient and take them to a COVID hospital. The Health Ministry has said that India has significantly ramped up its domestic production capacity related to personal protective equipment, PPEs and N95 masks, and the requirements of the states and union territories are being sufficiently met. Today, the country is producing more than 3 lakh PPEs and N95 masks per day. States and union territories as well as central institutions have been provided with around 111 lakh N95 masks and 74.48 lakh PPEs. Ministry said there are some reports in a section of the media expressing concern about the quality of PPE coveralls. It clarified that HLL Lifecare Limited, HLL, procuring agency of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, is procuring PPE coveralls from manufacturers and suppliers tested and approved by the labs nominated by the Ministry of Textiles. The ministry said procurement is being done only after their products qualify in the test prescribed by the Technical Committee of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The ministry advised all the states and union territories to ensure procurement after following the prescribed testing for PPEs from Ministry of Textiles nominated labs. In addition, manufacturers who have got their products qualified from these labs are also being brought on Government e-Marketplace GEM. Information of manufacturers whose products have qualified the tests is available on Ministry of Textiles website.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring listeners the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Director AIMS Dr. Randeep Guleria advised people to aggressively follow social distancing and hand hygiene norms to check the spread of COVID-19 infection.
जैसे जैसे अब ऑफिस खुल रहे हैं, लोग वापस आ रहे हैं, एक तो ऑफिस में सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग, ऑफिस में भी अगर आप बैठे हैं तो कम स्टाफ रखो, उनकी दूरी जो है कम से कम 6 फीट या 2 मीटर दूरी में बैठे, वो आपस में खाना इकट्ठा ना खाएं। जैसे ऑफिस में अंदर आएं या ऑफिस के बाहर जाएं तो अपने सैनिटाइजर से हाथ साफ रखें। कई ऑफिसेज ये भी कर रहे हैं जो अच्छी है कि एक ही जगह से लोग अंदर आएं और एक दूसरी जगह से बाहर जाएं, जिससे मिक्सिंग ना हो, वन वे आना जाना हो, दरवाजों पे या रास्ते में भी सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग बनी रहे।
Talking to AIR News, Dr. Naresh Gupta of LNJP Hospital, Delhi said that in most of the cases, the COVID-19 infections are self-limiting and very few patients are required to be admitted in hospitals.
अगर इंसान को एक्सपोजर है उस इंसान के साथ जिसको कि कोरोना वायरस देखा या भुगता है, तो उसका कोरोना वायरस होने का चांस है। कॉमन कोल्ड और कोरोना वायरस इन्फेक्शन दोनों की दोनों आम तौर से अपने आप ही सेटल कर जाते। 80% में तो ऐसी भी तकलीफ नहीं करते हैं या इतनी हल्की करते हैं कि लोग घर पे ही ठीक हो जाते हैं। 10-15% में उनको अस्पताल जाके कुछ दवाई दी जाती है और वो सेटल हो जाते हैं। 5% या उससे कम वाले हैं जो कि दाखिल होना पड़ता है।
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Domestic flights resume in the country except in Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal. New set of domicile rules in Jammu and Kashmir to undo the injustice done for 70 years, says Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter at Khud Hanjipora area of Kulgam district in Jammu and Kashmir. Hockey legend Balbir Singh Senior passes away in Mohali, Punjab, and Eid ul-Fitr being celebrated across the country amid lockdown restrictions. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Union Minister Jitendra Singh has said a historical error has been corrected after 70 years with the notification of the new domicile rules by the Jammu and Kashmir administration. People belonging to West Pakistan, Valmikis, women marrying outside their communities, non-registered Kashmiri migrants and displaced people will soon get domicile under a new set of rules issued by the Jammu and Kashmir administration. In an interview to a TV channel, Dr. Jitendra Singh noted that 3 generations of people of Jammu and Kashmir had been denied their right to live with justice and dignity, and it was heartening to see this redemption happening in this lifetime. He said this notification of new rules will prove to be a blessing for future generations. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists have been killed in an encounter which broke out at Khud Hanjipura area of Kulgam district this morning. A police official said that cordon and search operation was launched in the area by a joint team of security forces including 34 Rashtriya Rifles, CRPF and Kulgam police on specific inputs about the presence of terrorists in the area in the wee hours today. Incriminating materials including arms and ammunition have also been recovered at the site of the encounter. Searches in the area are continuing and further details in this regard are awaited. Meanwhile, the authorities have suspended the mobile internet services in Kulgam and Shopian districts as a precautionary measure. Balbir Singh Senior, the 3-time Olympic gold medal winning hockey legend, died in a private hospital at Mohali, Punjab this morning. He was 95, one of the country's greatest athletes. Balbir Senior was the only Indian among 16 legends chosen by the International Olympic Committee across modern Olympic history. His world record for most goals scored by an individual in the men's hockey final of the Olympics is still unbeaten. President, Prime Minister and Home Minister have expressed grief at the passing away of the hockey legend. President Ramnath Kovind said, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, Padma Shri awardee and one of India's greatest athletes, Balbir Singh Senior's legacy will continue to inspire future generations. He expressed condolences to his family, friends and admirers. The Prime Minister said he brought home lots of pride and laurels. He said undoubtedly a brilliant hockey player, Balbir Singh Senior also made a mark as a great mentor. Mr. Modi expressed condolences to his family and well-wishers. Home Minister Amit Shah said Balbir Singh Senior was a legendary hockey player who left indelible imprint on world hockey with his stick. Mr. Shah said he was fortunate to have met the lively and joyful Balbir Singh Ji. He expressed condolences to the family of the late Olympian. Our correspondent has filed this report.
One of the country's greatest athletes, Balbir Singh Senior, was part of India's gold medal winning team at 1948 London, 1952 Helsinki and 1956 Melbourne Olympics. He was the only Indian among 16 legends chosen by the International Olympic Committee across modern Olympic history. His world record for most goals scored by an individual in the men's hockey final of the Olympics still remains unbeaten. In his illustrious playing career from 1947 to 1958, Balbir Singh Senior won 61 international caps and scored a whopping 246 goals. He was also the manager of the 1975 World Cup winning team. Anupam Mish, AI News, Delhi.
Eid ul-Fitr is being celebrated with simplicity and solemnity across the country today amidst coronavirus pandemic. The faithful offered prayers and Thanksgiving namaz in their homes instead of congregating at Eidgahs and grand mosques in compliance with the nationwide lockdown norms. People also prayed to the Almighty to free the world from the pandemic. Perhaps for the first time, Eidgahs and mosques wore a deserted look on Eid day, as the religious and other large gatherings are still prohibited under Lockdown 4. Several Muslim clerics, leaders, scholars and prominent personalities have appealed to people to offer Eid prayers at their homes, adhering to social distancing norms. President, Vice President and Prime Minister have greeted people on the occasion of Eid ul-Fitr. In his message, President Ramnath Kovind said, "The festival is an expression of love, peace, brotherhood and harmony." Vice President Venkaiah Naidu in his message said, "The festival fortifies the spirit of compassion, charity and generosity in society, and it is an occasion for families and communities to come together." Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoped this special occasion furthers the spirit of compassion, brotherhood and harmony. He wished for everyone to be healthy and prosperous. Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar have greeted the nation on the occasion. Eid is being celebrated in the national capital with people offering Eid namaz at their residences and greeting each other as Jama Masjid and other mosques in the city are closed due to the lockdown. More from our correspondent.
Shahi Imam of Delhi Jama Masjid Sayyid Ahmad Bukhari appealed to the people of Delhi to take precautions and maintain social distancing in the time of corona pandemic. He asked the people to stay away from shaking hands and hugging. People are strictly following government guidelines and wishing each other through phone calls and various social media platforms. Besides, so many Muslims are involved in community service and helping those who are affected by COVID-19 crisis. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi may continue to reel under heat wave today as well. Minimum temperature in the city was at 28 degrees Celsius and maximum is expected to be at 45 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will witness a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature in the city was around 28 degrees Celsius, while maximum will remain around 38 degrees Celsius. In the south, Chennai will see a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 29 and 38 degrees Celsius. Kolkata may also witness a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature in the metropolis witnessed 28 degrees Celsius, while a maximum is expected to be around 35 degrees. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, minimum temperature was 24 degrees in Jammu, while maximum will be around 41 degrees Celsius. The city will observe a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. In Srinagar, minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 28 degrees. The city will observe a partly cloudy sky. In Gilgit, temperature will hover between 13 and 33 degrees Celsius, with generally cloudy sky. In Muzaffarabad, there will be a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was at 17 degrees Celsius, while maximum temperature will be around 37 degrees Celsius.
The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its live phone-in program Samvad this evening, will bring listeners a special program on railways where listeners can ask questions to experts related to passenger trains on toll-free telephone number 1800-115-767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on the FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 7:10 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also listen to us on the News on AIR app. The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight, will bring listeners a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. A.K. Varshne, senior physician from RML Hospital, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free telephone number 1800-115-767. Listeners can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on the FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:25 p.m. onwards.
Noted actor Sonali Bendre has appealed to people to follow social distancing guidelines to fight against COVID-19. She also urged people to follow all directives issued by the government.
दोस्तों, मुश्किल कभी बताकर नहीं आती है और ना ही उससे भागा जा सकता है। आज हमारे सामने मुश्किल है और हमें उसका सामना करना है। इसका सामना हम कर सकते हैं घर पर रहकर। अगर हमारा काम जरूरी ना हो तो प्लीज घर से बाहर ना निकले। हम खुद की जान ही नहीं दूसरों की जान को भी खतरे में डाल सकते हैं। जिन लोगों के पास ऑप्शन नहीं है, जिनका घर से बाहर निकलना जरूरी है, जैसे पुलिस वाले, डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेस, सैनिटेशन वर्कर्स, उनका काम और न बढ़ाएं, उनका काम और मुश्किल न करें, उनको मदद करें घर पे रहेंगे। इसीलिए प्लीज स्टे होम, स्टे सेफ।
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Domestic flights resume in the country except in Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal. New set of domicile rules in Jammu and Kashmir to undo the injustice done for 70 years, says Union Minister Jitendra Singh. 2 terrorists killed in an encounter at Khud Hanjipura area of Kulgam district in Jammu and Kashmir. Hockey legend Balbir Singh Sr. passes away in Mohali and in Punjab, and Eid ul-Fitr being celebrated across the country amid lockdown restrictions. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. With that, we end the Midday News.